Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. This is Ms. Sidra Iqbal, visiting teacher of Department of History and Arts, Division of Arts and Social Sciences, University of Education, Bank Road Campus, Lahore. Today I am here with the course of Foreign Policy of Pakistan, which is for MA History. Course code is HIST 4116. Core instructor is Ms. Sidra Iqbal. Today we will continue our lecture, which is, as we know that the worldwide globalization, actually this is a very huge topic. That's why we divided it into three parts. Now today early we discussed the definition, what is globalization, component of globalization, features of globalization, and the previous lecture we discussed the advantages of globalization or positive effects of globalization. Now in this lecture we will discuss the negative effects of globalization, which is most important. So I'm going to start. Negative effects of globalization. We cannot ignore the negative effects it has in developing world. First of all, negative effects is unemployment. Globalization is a blame towards unemployment situation. Through it brought some jobs opportunities. Despite the fact that it brought jobs opportunities to the global, but it is still a blame to the current situation. It's true that global economic integration and increased travel have resulted in increased competitiveness at the national and enterprise levels, forcing producers to find ways to cut costs, improve efficiency, and raise productivity. So this is the huge or effective negative effect which prevail due to the globalization. The next one is spread of fast food chains. As we know that in every countries, every cities have the food chain. Even if we अगर हम पाकिस्तान देखते हैं तो पाकिस्तान के हर बड़े और छोटे शहर में आपको मैकडॉनल्ड्स या KFC, HFC और ये फ्राइड चिक्स, ये सारी जो चेन्स हैं फास्ट फूड के, पिज़्ज़ा हट्स, ये आपको इजीली अवेलेबल है अब हर छोटे बड़े शहर के अंदर. फास्ट फूड चेन is growing very fast, but some of the most rapid growth is occurring in the developing countries, where it's real changing the way people eat. KFC is the largest, fastest growing and highest potential units. Most people prefer to buy fast food because it's cheap and quick. This replaces home cooked fare enjoyed with family and friends. Traditional diets and recipes are yielding to sodas, burgers, and other highly processed and standardized items that have a lot of fat, sugar, and salt, resulting a global epidemic of diabetes, obesity, and other chronic diseases. Meanwhile, fast food producers require farmers to raise uniform fields of crops and herds of livestock for easy processing, eliminating agricultural diversity. This is the effect of negative effect of the globalization. Now we are going to discuss Western culture. Globalization has led to the spread of Western culture and influence at the expense of local culture in developing countries like Africa. Most people now in developing countries cope what people in developed countries do, so it's like they ignore their own culture and practice Western culture. For example, dressing styles and eating habits, language, all these can affect management in one way or another. Example, it can cause misunderstandings because of language barriers. Next, next we are going to discuss its trade. Average tariff rates continue to be high in many developing countries, including some that have recently implemented trade reforms. Example, India. For example, India. Trade policy continues to be an important aspect in globalization, at least in some of the lower income developing countries. The next negative effects is job insecurities. As we earlier discussed that unemployment prevails due to the globalization. Here is the relevant heading is job insecurity. In developed countries, people have jobs insecurity. People are losing their jobs. Developed nations have outsourced manufacturing and white collar jobs. That means less jobs for their people. This is because the manufacturing work is outsourced to country where the cost of manufacturing goods and wages are lower than in their own countries. They have outsourced to developing countries like China and India. Most people like accountants, programmers, editors, and scientists have lost jobs due to outsourcing to cheaper locations like India. These all things create the job insecurities for the people of local, we can say that for the local peoples. this is these are the negative effects. Globalization has led to exploitation of labor. The most important thing is that globalization make the exploitation of labor. Safety standards are ignored to produce cheap goods. In practice, however, the recent experience in Latin America has been that many such open handed multinationals move their operations to, for example, China or Southeast Asia because of cost and market considerations. Fluctuation in prices. Globalization has led to fluctuation in price due to increase in competition developed countries are forced to lower down their prices for their products. This is because other countries like China produce goods at a lower cost that makes goods to be cheaper than the ones produced in developed countries. So, in order for the developed countries to maintain their customers, they are forced to reduce prices for their goods. This is a disadvantages to them because it reduces the ability to sustain social welfare in their countries. Theories of globalization. I hope you can understand the negative effects or disadvantages of the globalization. Now we are going to discuss the theories of globalization. All theories of globalization have been put here under in 8 categories: liberalism, political realism, Marxism, constructivism, postmodernism, feminism, transformationalism, and ellipticism. Each one of them carries several variations. First of all, we are going to discuss liberalism. Liberalism sees the process of globalization as market-led extension of modernization. At the most elementary level, it is a result of natural human desires for economic welfare and political liberty. As such, transplanetary connectivity is derived from human drives to maximize material well-being and to exercise basic freedoms. These forces eventually interlink humanity across the planet. Political realism. Advocates of this theory are interested in question of state power, the pursuit of national interest, and conflict between states. According to them, states are inherently accusative and self-serving and heading for inevitable competition of power. Some of these scholars stand for a balance of power where any attempt by one state to achieve world dominance is countered by collective resistance from other states. Marxism. Marxism is principally concerned with modes of production, social exploitation through unjust distribution, and social emancipation through the transcendence of capitalism. Marx himself anticipated the growth of globality, that capital by its nature derives beyond every spatial barrier to conquer the whole earth for its market. Accordingly to Marxism, globalization happens because transferred connectivity enhance opportunities of profit opportunities of profit making, and surplus accumulation. Constructivism. Globalization has also arisen because of the way that people have mentally constructed the social world with particular symbols, language, images, and interpretation. It is the result of particular forms and dynamics of consciousness, pattern of production, and governance are second order structures that derive from deeper culture and social psychological forces. Such accounts of globalization have come from the fields of anthropology, humanities, media of studies, and sociology. Next, we are going to discuss the postmodernism. Some other additional perspectives of globalization highlight the significance of structural power in the construction of identities, norms, and knowledge. They all are grouped under the label of postmodernism. They too, as Michael Foucault does, strive to understand society in terms of knowledge, power structure, shape knowledge. Certain knowledge structures support certain power hierarchies. I hope you can understand what is postmodernism. Now we are going to discuss the feminism. This theory has been expounded by David Hill and his colleague. Accordingly, the term globalization reflects increased interconnectedness in political, economic, and cultural matter across the world, creating a shared social space. जिस तरह से हम देखते हैं कि पूरी दुनिया जो है वो इंटरकनेक्टेड है, लाइक ऑल कंट्रीज आर इंटरडिपेंडेंट अपॉन ईच अदर. So that's why the political, economic, and cultural matters are also interconnected. Shared social space. Given this interconnectedness, globalization may be defined as a process or set of process which embodies a transformation in the spatial organization of social relations and transactions expressed in transcontinentals or international flows and networks of activity, interaction, and powers. This is the theory of the feminism of globalization. I hope you can understand what is feminism and this how it belongs to this theory belongs to the globalization. Now we are going to discuss the eclecticism. First of all, we have to understand that what is eclecticism. Each one of the above 6 ideal type of social theories of globalization highlights certain forces that contribute to its growth. They put emphasis on technology and institution building, national interest and interstate competition, capital accumulation and class struggle, identity and knowledge construction, rationalism and cultural imperialism, and masculinized and subordination of women. John Art synthesizes them as forces of production, governance, identity, and knowledge. So now we are going to sum up this topic. Globalization is commonly described as a process of interaction and integration among the countries, people, companies, and governments of the world. It is a process that is primarily driven by international trade and is investment, and is aided by infrastructure and information technology improvements. Globalization affects everything from the environmental and human well-being through to economic development and the prosperity of citizens. Because of globalization, the economies of the world are being increasingly integrated. For example, mobile phone and internet have brought people closer together. The world is becoming a smaller place. Work can be outsourced to any part of the world that has an internet connection, and because of improvement in traffic infrastructure, one is able to reach one's destination in a short time. Thank you. I hope you can understand. If you have any question, any query, you can text or you can comment. You can ask anytime. Thank you. Goodbye, students.